happy to meet you.
I'm happy to meet you too.
Now, I have a question. Those pants, how did you get into those? They like spray painted on you?
Almost.
Yeah.
Very carefully. And the zip, they were pretty old pants. They were from the 50s already.
Right.
So we had to be pretty careful with them. And then I had to be stitched in because the zip, I think, was either going or they didn't want it to show. So they used to stitch me into these pants every day.
Really?
Yeah, so I didn't drink a lot.
Did you keep them?
I did, actually.
You
I
did?
did. And when we had the re-premiere about a month ago, I decided I'm just going to try them on just to see, because I can wear the jacket. The jacket's no problem, but I tried them on, and I'm so happy that the elastic had gone, so I never had to be embarrassed to find out how far off I was.
Oh, really?
So I never will know. Isn't that wonderful?
No. You can give it to me. I can use it as like a sweatband in my head or something. It's about all. But now the re-release, when they told you they were going to re-release it into the theaters, did you think, what are you, crazy? It's been on video forever? And
Actually, I could see that it would be a hit again, because about 5 years before I'd been to see it in LA, they had, like, you know how the Rocky Horror Show had this cult following?
Right.
Well, Grease had this kind of following, and I went with Randall Kleiser, the director, and Didi Conn, who was Frenchy, and we all went together, and they were all dressed up in leather jackets and ponytails and singing along, and I remember thinking, they could bring this out again.
Yeah.
So I was more surprised the first time it was such a big hit, but the second time, I was kind of
that was the night that I
expecting
saw
it
you
might-
in the restaurant, because you guys were
Yeah.
going to that event. It
That's
was
right.
Muse, that was the name of it, right?
Yeah, I
on
think so,
Beverly, and I
yes.
saw Olivia Newton-John eating, and I was like, it's Olivia Newton-John! But I didn't go over. I felt like...
And
yeah,
I felt the same. I saw Rosie and felt the same way. Isn't that silly?
It's weird.
It's so silly.
But it's even worse to go over and go, hi, I'm a celebrity and you might know me. And, I know you too. So nice to meet you. We're both famous. You feel like a dork to do that, don't you?
Yeah, a little.
Who did you admire, like, want to be like when you were growing up?
I loved, when I was singing, my favourite singing stars were Joan Baez and Dionne Warwick.
Yeah.
And I loved Ray Charles and Nina Simone. And that was kind of the music that I loved when I was a kid.
And you got the job of Sandy because you were at a party at Helen Reddy's house?
That's right. I was
I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar?
Yeah. She was great. She was really wonderful to me. She and her husband at the time, Jeff, were very supportive of me, and they had me over quite often. And this particular night, Alan Carr was there, sitting opposite me. And he apparently thought I was right for Sandy, and that's how I got the part. So thank you, Helen. I've always said thank you to her forever since for inviting me for dinner.
Now, she's from where you're from, isn't she?
She's from Australia.
Yeah, she is. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's an Aussie girl.
She did my show, and I was like, where is she having this accent from? I thought she was from New York.
Yeah, no, well, I think she moved here quite young and has been here longer, and I just never lost mine.
Oh, it's adorable. I would love to have it. So much better than New York.
Oh, I like New York.
Oh, no, but it sounds
It's
so charming,
cute.
Australian.
Oh, but I think New York's charming.
You think New York's charming?
Yeah, it's fun. I like the accent. I do,
I think
yeah.
you sound like a thug, you know? Sometimes, like, I'll watch the show, I'll be like, you know, the day off, and I'll get out of the shower, and it'll be on, and I'm like, who is that, Stallone? And it's me, you know? Like, I don't even think I sound like that. It's scary.
Well, you haven't been to Australia and heard the real strong accent then, have you?
No, the only thing I know from that is, a dingle's got my baby, you know? That's the only thing I know from that Meryl Streep movie. So how's your daughter?
She's wonderful.
Is she great?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
12 and so smart and so funny and great company.
Does she want to be a performer too?
I think she does.
Really?
Yeah, she tells me, you know, and I say to her, well, you know, what college are you going to go to, darling? She says, well, I think I want to do what you do. I go, oh, well, that's fine. You know, I've had a wonderful career. I'll be supportive of her if she wants to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you encourage her to go to school first?
I'd like her to
Yeah.
do that because I didn't finish.
No, I didn't
And I would
either.
like her to finish so she can teach me some stuff.
I have regrets about that too.
I do. For years after I left school, I used to have nightmares about going to exams and not knowing what was happening. Did you have that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that
that
was
happened for me in real life. I went to college for 1 year, and while I was there, I would go do stand-up at the nightclubs, so I couldn't get up for the classes. And then I'd take the test because I felt bad that I'd paid the tuition, and I'd get like a D minus, you know. It was a bad scene for me.
Yeah.
Did you want to be a performer starting when you were a little kid?
I think that I don't know if it was a conscious thing, but I was always performing and dressing up and doing shows and singing and writing songs and poetry and stuff all the time. But I wanted to be a vet, actually.
No kidding.
And then if I couldn't be a vet, I thought, well, I loved horses so much that maybe I could be a mounted policewoman. Then I could ride horses and get paid for it. So that was my second choice. Singing kind of happened. I love to sing, and my sister was married to a man who had a coffee lounge, and I used to sing in there, just sitting there singing next to the guy who was playing on the stage. He invited me up one night, and I started singing along with him, and it kind of went from there.
And you won a big award there in
Yeah,
Australia?
I won a singing contest singing Everything's Coming Up Roses.
Really?
Yeah,
I just sang that on my little thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That
in
was
the wrong
fun.
key. Whatever. That you won a contest?
Yeah, it was a national singing contest. It was a talent contest all around the country. And I was 15 and I went into it and didn't really think I had a chance. And before I knew it, I was in the final and I won. And I got a trip to England out of it. And then they invited me to do kind of a permanent job on this TV show.
It's not a bad gig,
That's
huh?
how it started. No, it was wonderful.
Well, I am, like everyone else, I'm so happy that you are cancer-free for 5 years. We're going to take a break, come back, and talk all about that and what great stuff you've done through that. We'll be back to talk to Olivia Newton-John right after this. Olivia Newton-John is in stores May 12th, and I honestly love you. So happy that you put that on this.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that.
Enjoy it very much. Now look in all these magazines, Ford Courage, the profile in Courage. There you are, Olivia Newton-John. And that is exactly what I think of when I think of you. You had breast cancer, what, 5 years ago?
Yeah, it was six in July.
6 years ago. And you decided to talk about it and to try to demystify it for everyone.
Well, they were going to print some horrible article in one of the rag trades, and I thought, well, rather than do that, I'm just going to come out and talk about it. It was very hard to talk about. It's such a personal thing and such a personal part of your body. Now it's like, we all have them, and we're all going to have to deal with this problem. It's an ever-increasing problem, like 1 in 9 women. I'm sure you know all about it.
Right.
And I'm really not that special. There are millions of women dealing with this problem. I'm just able to be vocal about it and draw attention to the problem. And Ford has sponsored these pages in all the Condé Nast publications to really educate women to health, self-examination and being aware of what you can do.
Yeah, and you were involved with health issues for children before
Yes.
you were diagnosed with breast cancer through your daughter's friend?
Yes, my best friend lost her daughter to cancer and she was 5. And through that, we founded the Children's Health and Environmental Coalition, which is a wonderful organisation. We're trying to improve the standards for children, basically, in the environment. The levels of toxicity that are considered safe are now measured by a fully grown male, 180 pounds, and kids are like, drinking 8 times the amount of juice and eating 8 times the amount of fruit and vegetables, and the levels that are considered safe. We need to adjust them for children. If it's adjusted for children, we'll all be safe.
Right.
So we have this organisation, and we have a wonderful little booklet called the House Detective, where we've put little ideas that you can use in your house to make it safe. And we have a website. Am I allowed to say
Yes, you
that?
are. It's World Wide Web, and the address is right up here, and we're going to put that on again at the end of the program, so grab a pen, and at the end you'll be able to find out. And if you go on the web, you'll find information that you can get the booklet and everything, which is such a great thing. Did you feel you had a choice? You wanted to talk about this, and did you feel like you had an obligation, sort of, to inspire other women?
I did. When initially it was kind of a very strange feeling. I remember the first time I had to fill in the blank. Have you had illnesses? You go to a doctor's office and they, have you had jaundice? Have you had hepatitis?
Right.
Cancer. I got to tick that thing, and then I realized this is like, now I really need to talk about it, and I need to be open about it, because I think holding these things in causes illness. I think that, when you hold emotions in and don't talk about them, that's not healthy. So that was all part of my growth.
Did you find this through a self-exam or through a doctor's visit?
Both.
Both.
I had a lump. I was tended to be lumpy, and I was always having checkups anyway. And this one felt a little strange, and I didn't feel well. I kind of had a feeling something wasn't quite right. And I was supposed to go on the road, and I had this innate feeling I wasn't going to go. I'll do anything to get out of work. So I went and had this checkup, and actually it didn't show up in a mammogram, and it didn't show up in a biopsy. And I don't say that to scare anybody, but you just have to really be in tune with your body. And if you don't feel something is right, even if they're saying you're fine, follow up on it.
Right.
Which is, thank goodness my surgeon did, and it was tucked away there. So.
Well, I'm so glad that you're healthy, and I'm so glad that you're speaking out about it. And what women should know is that early detection is the biggest thing that they can do to help themselves.
Exactly.
Now, care to do a little song that we adapted in order to get women to check themselves out?
Okay.
All right, let's try this. You ready?
Yeah,
Here
I'm
we
ready.
go. All right, I'm ready. We're talking to women over 35.
You're doing self-examination.
We got another thing to keep you alive. Give your boobs a squeeze.
A mammogram makes sure that you have healthy breasts.
No different than a cold waffle iron.
Reminds me of having my blue jeans pressed.
So make your move and please get a physical.
Call and get a physical.
Schedule a physical.
Get yourself a mammogram. You'll thank us, ma'am.
Get yourself a mammogram. Take it, Olivia.
You can do it 'cause you're strong. It only hurts for 5 5 seconds.
Whether they're tiny, big, or long, you know what they need.
If you feel a marble, a pea, or a flaw, don't be shy, just get it checked.
Yeah, be a trendsetter, just whip off your bra.